Hello students, so let us begin with the topic or begin with the video for today. And in the previous video, if you remember, we have discussed the process of condensation, how it takes place, different requirements for the process of condensation. In this video, we are going to discuss is the forms of condensation. Okay, different types of condensation. After the process of condensation, there are different forms or types of condensed water vapor is present. So that is what we are going to discuss. So the condensation can be both liquid as well as in the solid form. So it's depend upon the temperature of the air. It depends upon the temperature of the air. So if the temperature is near 0 degree Celsius or in the sub-zero condition, then the liquid form of condensation takes place, that is dew, fog, mist and clouds. And if the temperature is below 0 degree Celsius, like below freezing point, then solid form of condensation takes place, that is frost, rime and clouds. Okay, so clouds, as you can see here, it can form in both the ways, liquid as well as in the solid. Okay, now that was depending on the temperature of the air. The frost or the forms of condensation is also classified on the basis of their place of formation. Okay, place of formation, where they are forming, whether it is on the ground, near the ground, or at the higher elevation. So these are the three different categories. So on the ground, dew and fog; near the ground, mist, fog and rime; and at the higher elevation, clouds formation takes place. So these are on the basis of the uh, place of their formation, okay, or the place of their origin. Now let us see individually how those condensation or the forms of condensation originates, or they actually form, how they form. Okay, so first we are going to discuss on the ground, that is dew. So dew, I hope everyone has seen early in the morning, isn't it, during the winter season. Now the winter season is coming, and you will be able to notice those phenomena on the ground surface, formation of your dew, fog, okay, or the frost. So you will be able to notice those kinds of forms of condensation during the winters. So dew, I hope everyone must have seen that, like in the grass blades, or on the grasses, isn't it? This condensed droplets of water is present, so that we term it as dew. So dew is also the form of condensation. Okay, and it is formed early in the morning before the sunrise, and when the temperature of the earth surface is near the 0 degree Celsius, near the 0 degree Celsius, not below the 0 degree Celsius, near 0 degree Celsius. So the condition necessary for the formation of your dew is sky with cloud cover, without cloud cover, sorry, calm weather, and the presence of sufficient amount of water vapor. So these are the requirement. So during the dew, okay, actually what happens is during the winter season, the radiation of the earth surface, okay, or the terrestrial radiation, what we say, isn't it, the terrestrial radiation occurs a lot, because there will be no cloud cover present during the winters. Okay, if you have noticed it or not, so during these days also, you just during the daytime, you just look up in the sky, you will see cloudless sky, isn't it? So at the night time, what happened is uh, enormous amount of terrestrial radiation will be radiated from the earth's surface, and since no cloud cover is present, okay, the heat will escape from the atmosphere. It will not reflect, or it will not get reflected back to the earth's surface. As a result, the temperature will go down, okay, because the greenhouse effect won't be able to take place. Okay, so the temperature will go down, and also a calm weather is also necessary. Now why a calm weather is necessary? Because in case if it is windy, then the hotness or the coldness of the air, okay, can be blown away from that particular area. So if the coldness is blown away from that particular area, then definitely the temperature, again, in order to cool down, it has to radiate more amount of heat. So in that case the cloud formations, or in that case the calm weather is also very necessary, should not be very windy. Okay, and the third one is sufficient amount of water vapor should be there. If the water vapor is not present in that particular area or in that air, then the condensation process will not take place only, because in order to condense, relative humidity should reach 100% in order to become air saturated, isn't it? So if it is going below 0 degree also, but in case if water vapor is not present in the air, then the process of condensation is not possible. So sufficient amount of water vapor is in the air is also necessary for the formation of uh, dew. Okay, not only dew, all the other forms of condensation. So these are the different criterias or the requirements for the formation of dew. Next we have is the frost. So it is also a type of condensation. So here the ground level only it is formed. Okay, it is also forming like the dew, and it is very, the formation it is very similar, the criterias are similar to the formation of dew. The only difference is dew it forms in the form of liquid, whereas the formation of frost it takes place in the form of solid ice crystals. Okay, so valleys are particularly ideal location for the formation of the valleys are ideal location valleys are ideal location for the formation of frost, because during the night time cold and heavy air accumulates in such like locations. Okay, the air displaces the warm air at the valley bottom and thus causes the inversion of temperature, and hence the valley floor or the bottom are affected by the frost, but the sides of the valley will remain unaffected. So if you see over here the diagram or the figure 16.20, formation of frost. Okay, so the locations of those valley locations and all are much more preferable for the formation of um, frost. Okay, now during the daytime the valley and all will receive more amount of insolation than compared to the slope of the land. So at the night time again radiation will also takes place in more amount from the valley areas compared to the slope areas. So the slopy areas will be in the higher pressure. Okay, and the valley areas will be at the lower pressure during the during the night time. So the thing is that the cold air will start, cold and the heavy air will start descending downwards from the top of the mountain towards the valley. So as a result what will happen is the warm air which is present over here it will be displaced upward, and the area of the warm region or the warm air will be taken by the cold air. Okay, so at the bottom of the valley the temperature will be very cold, but at the upper level of the atmosphere the temperature will be warm. Okay, so in that case inversion of temperature is also taking place. Okay, inversion of temperature means just opposite, as we go up the temperature should go down, but in this case what is happening, as we are coming down the temperature is also going down, isn't it? Here it is just opposite, just going up temperature coming down, but here coming down the temperature is also coming down. So that means while going up the temperature is also increasing in this case. So this type of phenomena when it occurs it is called inversion of temperature, and as a result frost and all are maximum are generally seen at the valley bottom. Okay, or at the valley floors. Understood? So in this way the fogs and all are also formed. Sorry, the frost is formed. So the formation is quite very similar to the dew, but only the difference is it is in the solid form. Okay, now frost is very harmful to the plants, and protection against the frost is a great challenge to the horticulturist in some of the temperate belt. Okay, horticulturist means people who are indulged in the flowering and all. Okay, so various conservation methods and all are also adopted in order to conserve the plants and in order to protect them from the frost. So next we have is the mist or and fog. So they are also a type of formation, and they formed near the ground. Okay, not on the surface but little bit above the ground it forms, and they are the forms of condensation in which minute droplets of water particles are found. Okay, so it is also a liquid form of condensation, and it remain suspended in the air. Okay, so mist and fog both reduce the visibility during the the fog and all. Sometimes the fog is so dense you won't be able to see a thing which is present just 10 meters in front of you. Okay, so here the fog and both reduce the visibility, but fog is quite dense. As you can see, the visibility can only up to be 1 kilometer, whereas the mist is less dense. Okay, and the visibility can be up to 2 kilometer also. The fog is much more denser than the mist. Okay, now next we have is the smoke. Now smoke is during in the urban areas. Okay, lots of pollutions are also present, lots of smoke is also present. So when the fog and smoke when the fog and smoke, when they combine with each other, okay, then they lead to the formation of smoke. Okay, so this is the combination of fog and the smoke. So in the urban, basically in the urban areas, we see those kinds of phenomena where the pollution level is very high, and fogs, when they come combined with those kinds of smoke or the pollutants, then it is called smog. Okay, and combination of smoke and haze is also termed as smage. Now haze is actually in the it forms in the um, snow covered areas. Okay, it is also very similar to the fog, but it fogs forms in the temperate areas, isn't it? Or whereas the haze, it forms in the frigid zones, okay, where the snow cover is more. Okay, that is your haze. So haze is a very small and the solid particles of dust and uh, smoke, so due to which the visibility is reduced. So combination, so as we have seen, the combination of smoke and the fog, we call it as smoke, and the combination of haze and the combination of smoke and the haze is called as smage. So what is haze? Haze is the small solid particles, okay, that is consist of dust and the smoke. Okay, so when the smoke and the haze combine together, then it is called smage. So those kinds of formations, when they smoke or when the haze, when it forms, it becomes very difficult for the traffic, and sometimes accidents also may occur. Okay, so at the higher elevation, the forms of condition which takes place is your clouds. Okay, and the clouds are condensed water vapor, it is forming at the upper level, and basically clouds are mainly classified, okay, according to their shapes. So the two main shapes of the clouds are there. One is cumulus and another one is your stratus. Cumulus and stratus. However, clouds has also been classified on the basis of their altitude. Okay, at the different altitudes, different types of clouds are also been classified. So as you can see here, the cumulus clouds represent a heap of clouds, and accumulation. Okay, cumulus means accumulation, the meaning of this term. And stratus represent is the horizontal layer of the clouds. Now during this seasons, during the evening time at the horizon, okay, notice you will be able to see cumulus clouds, okay, like the heap of clouds like this, one on top of the another like this. So this kind of clouds, if you see, it is called cumulus clouds. And during the summers and all, you will be able to notice the those kinds of the flat clouds. Now also it will be noticed in some of the places. These are uh, called your stratus, okay, flat clouds. Now, according to the altitude, also different types of clouds are there. Upper level, we call it cirrus clouds, cirrocumulus clouds, cirrostratus clouds. Middle clouds are also there. Alto clouds, alto stratus. Lower clouds, cumulus, stratus, stratocumulus, and cumulonimbus. And nimbo stratus are also there. So nimbostratus clouds, generally we observe those kinds of clouds during the rainy season. Okay, the clouds formation takes place very near to the ground, like 1 or 2 kilometer above the ground surface. Okay, 1 or 2 kilometer above the ground surface, and it is also associated with the rain, snow, and the sleet also. Okay, so this kinds of sometimes streaks of your rain and snow falling from those clouds, but it does not reach the ground, is called varga. Okay, varga. So here three different terms are also there which is associated with the clouds: cirrus, alto, and the nimbus clouds. So this kind of upper cloud cirrus similar are composed of ice crystals, as the temperature at the higher elevations are very very low, below the freezing point. So the thing is that here the condensation, it occurs in the form of solid form. Alto, okay, represents the middle level clouds. Okay, and here you will find both liquid as well as solid forms of condensation. And nimbus refers to those clouds which gives rain. Okay, nimbostratus, cumulonimbus. Now those kinds of clouds generally we see during the rainy season, which forms very near, as I have already told. Okay, students, so this were the various type of your forms of condensation. Okay, dew and frost, mist, fog, and rime, and the clouds. Now rime is very similar to the frost. Okay, very similar to the frost, but sometimes now frost and all in the the in the plant only, it is solely like the instead of dew. Okay, it's like in the plant surface, like dew will be the droplets of water, isn't it? Droplets, liquid form of water. But in the case of frost, it will not be droplet of water, but the whole, like it will form is the solid ice crystals like this it will form. Okay, or sometimes the whole thing will be covered in the ice also. Okay, so this type of formation, if it occurs, it is called your frost. Now sometimes at the little bit above the ground in the wires and all. Okay, and in the wires and all, the formation of the frost also takes place, but it will be quite different. It will be upside down and it will be pointing towards the ground. Okay, so this kind of feature, when it is formed, we call it as rime. Okay, so this were the students different types of condensation. I hope you all have understood, uh, and in case of any doubts and all, if it is there, then you can leave it in the comment section. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video.